Good afternoon, Year 11s. This afternoon we're focusing on compound interest, so moving on from simple interest. If you have any questions at all, please direct them to me on Daymap or on Teams and I'll get back to you as soon as I see them. Alright, learning intention. You're going to use a compound interest formula in a variety of contexts or scenarios. You're going to know what compound interest is, where it's used and why it's important. You're going to be able to use the compound interest formula to calculate the interest earned, and then Monday's lesson we're going to get to rearranging the compound interest formula to determine the principal, interest rate and investment period. Don't worry about that until next week as stated. I'm not going to go through this again, but I just want to draw your attention back to simple versus compound interest. Simple interest, you're only earning interest on the principal, so the amount you deposit, okay? Compound interest, you're going to earn interest on that principal, so the amount you deposit, plus the interest you've earned, okay? So, for example, if you invest $200 into a bank account and get $6 interest in that first year, the next time that interest is compounded, you're going to get interest upon $206, okay? So they've added together your principal, the amount you deposit, and the amount of interest you've earned, and they calculate the compound interest upon that. Hope that makes sense to you guys. Compound interest the formula looks a little bit more complicated, but it works off the same principle that we used with the simple interest formula. You need to identify what each of these components of the formula mean, find out what values match them, work out what values you know, work out what values you don't know, and then use the formula to solve for that unknown value. All right, so FV stands for future value. So that's the amount you can expect in your bank account once your interest has been compounded. Your PV is your present value. It's kind of like your principal, so it's the amount that's currently sitting in your bank account. Your I stands for interest rate per annum, and we pop that into a decimal, so that's exactly the same as the simple interest formula. K is an interesting one, and basically it means the number of compounding periods per year. So when you've got different sort of interest setups or conditions with your bank, sometimes it's compounded multiple times a year. So if your interest is compounded annually, that means it's compounded once per year. So you would use a value of 1 for K. If your interest is compounded quarterly, that means it's compounded 4 times per year, so every 3 months. Then K is going to have a value of 4, okay? Time, as always, stands okay? So same situation. So let's work through this example together. So Tess places $8,000 in a fixed term investment account, which pays 6.5% per annum, and it's compounded annually. All right, so part A, how much will she have in her bank account after 3 years? Hopefully you can see that they're looking for the future value. They're trying to find out how much you'll have in her account if she lets the interest compound on that $8,000 for 3 years. We know her current value or present value is $8,000. We know that the interest rate is 6.5%, and as a decimal that is 0.065. We know that K is going to have a value of 1 because the interest is only compounded annually, so once per year. And we know that Tess is keeping that money in her bank account for 3 years. Let's substitute the values we know into the compound interest formula. So future value is unknown, so we leave it as that FB. We substitute in our present value, so $8,000. We substitute in our interest rate, so 0.65. We substitute in our compounding periods, which is 1, and then multiply our compounding periods by the number of years they compounded for, which is 1 multiplied by 3. All right, so simplified, that looks like that. Substitute that into your calculator as normal, and you would end up with $9,663.60. For part B, what interest will she have earned over the period? I want you to be careful and remember that future value means the amount expected in the bank account once the interest has been compounded. That includes that present value. So to find out the interest she would have earned, you take away that present value from the future value, and you would see that the interest accrued or earned over that 3-year period was $1,663.60. Hopefully that makes sense to you guys. It's a little bit more of a complex formula compared to the simple interest formula, but I hope you can see you work upon the same principle. I think the K bit, finding out what K is going to represent numerically, is the trickiest bit. I'm going to let you go have a go at these questions, and then I expect that you will come back onto the next slide once you're finished. What if we need to find the present amount? Okay, what do we do if we need to find the amount originally invested? We know what the future value is. We know that Holly invested an amount of money at paying 6.2% per annum, interest per annum, compounded annually, and she now has $5,497.70 in her bank account. How much did Holly invest originally? All right, so we know the future value is $5,497.77. The present value is what we're trying to work out. We're trying to work out how much she deposited. We know that the interest rate is 6.2%, which is 0.062 as a decimal. We know that K, so the number of times the interest is compounded, is annually, so once per year. So again, K is going to have a value of 1. And we know that Holly invested this money for 3 years. Right. All we need to do is substitute these values into the formula. You're going to have to do some rearranging here. It's not too tricky though. So let's say our future value, 549,777, is going to be equal to our present value multiplied by 1 plus our interest rate divided by the number of times the interest is compounded per year. And then we're going to multiply our compounding periods by the number of years as 3. Using your basic algebra principles, we know that there's a multiplication in here. So let's divide both sides by this. I'm just simplifying 1 times 3 to be 3. We're going to do the same to both sides. Okay. Multiplying and dividing are the opposite operations, so we know that this cancels out. So we're left with PV on its own now. If you were to chuck this information into your calculator, you will see that the present value, or the amount that you get when you solve this, is $4,590. All right. If you wanted to work backwards and substitute this present value into the compound interest formula, you may, and you would see that by the end, the new value or the final value would be $5,497.77. I hope that makes sense to you guys. Please ask questions if it doesn't. All right, there's that solved, in case you need to see it in not my messy writing. I'm going to let you answer these questions. Again, they work upon finding the present value, so you're going to have to do that rearranging there. What I want to draw your attention to here is we have been working with compounding periods of 1, so where interest is compounded once per year. So these are your K values here. Sometimes interest can be compounded half yearly, so that's where K would equal 2, so because that's 2 times per year. Sometimes it's compounded quarterly, so 4 times per year. K would have a value of 4. And sometimes interest can actually be compounded monthly, so 12 times per year, once per month, and therefore K would have a value of 12 in that scenario. I'm not going to go through this example for you here because it's pretty self-explanatory, but I am going to go through the example on the next page. All right, so $8,800 is placed in an account which pays 4.8% per annum, and the interest is compounded monthly. Find the account balance after 3 years. Let's go and find what we already know. We know that the future value is what we're trying to find. We're trying to find the account balance after 3 years. No idea what the future value is yet. The present value, that is that $8,800 that was originally assigned in the bank account. We know that the interest rate is 4.8%, so that's 0.048 as a decimal. We know that our K, the number of times the interest is compounded, is monthly. So K is actually going to have a value of 12 here. So 12 months, compounded monthly, K is 12. And the time is still 3 years. So let's go and pop these values into the formula. So future value, let's leave that as FB because that's what we're trying to work out. So we got 8,800. And then we're going to pop 1 plus 0.048 over 12. And then we're going to pop up in our exponent 12 times 3. And I just want to quickly mention here for you guys, what this does is, that's a 4, is that splits that per annum interest rate over 12 months. So you still only get 4.8% interest per annum, but it's compounded quarterly. So it's compounded compounded monthly, not quarterly. So it's compounded 12 times a year. So it just splits this 0.048 over 12 months. Okay, and the number of times it's compounded is going to be 12 times per 3 years. All right. So if you pop this into your calculator, you're going to see that the future value is $10,160.06. Make sure you pop your dollar value on there. All right. Okay. So it's just a little bit different, but just determining what that K value is based upon how many times the interest is compounded per year. That's the answer explained, and here are the rest of your questions that you need to complete, and your answers are here. Okay, so please go back and check your answers. Make sure you're showing you're working out and not copying straight from the answers, and please ask me if you have any questions at all. Otherwise, I'm going to see you on Monday. I'm so looking forward to actually getting to teach you properly in real life.